Hello everyone, welcome back to the Two-Line Pass. I'm Michael Farkas. Glad to be with you again here. I gotta get a video that's a little bit more positive, I think, to change the energy up a bit. So for that, I'm gonna turn to Matvei Gridin, the 28th pick of the first round by the Calgary Flames. This is a player I wasn't so sure about coming into the year. Obviously played in the USHL the year before, but I wasn't totally clued into how he went about his business. Even when I was at the USHL Fall Classic, when he was one of the major talking points, particularly for college recruiters that were there, I didn't think the college thing was going to work out necessarily, and ultimately that fell apart. So we'll see where he's off to next. He went first overall in the CHL import draft the other day. But even when I was at the Fall Classic, I wasn't completely convinced yet of exactly how he went about his business and what kind of scalable qualities he had, what kind of pro traits he had, which is normal early in a draft year. But as I got more and more viewings, I became a believer, and ultimately on my US list, to pull the curtain back a little bit here, on my US based list, he was only clearly behind Celebrini and Boyum. And that doesn't mean he's number 3, there's just a clear tier or tiers above him with those two players who went first and I think 12th. After that, I'd be open to the idea of him in that grouping with, for me, it was Levshinov, Mustard, and some of the other guys that went, I think they all went right in a row in the rich, creamy center of the first round. But it just feels, and again, I really, I mostly just watch United States area guys, but he just feels like a 20th overall type of selection, somewhere in that zone. And I'll tell you why. So I think the thing that everyone buys into is the goal scoring ability. The shot is absolutely lethal. He has one of the quickest releases in the whole draft class as far as I've seen. Wrister, snapshot, one-timer. If one thing is going to hold, if there's one thing we can generally all agree on, I think it's going to be the goal scoring ability. But there's more to his game than that, and that's why I project his upside so high. So let's take a look. So you've heard this, if you've heard any of my videos before, process matters much more than totals. So Gridin has a goal scorer stat line to a degree, but it's not so lopsided. So let's see how he's getting it done from a playmaking perspective, because if we have that goal scoring ability and we have translatable skills in the playmaking department, well, now we have a really, really high-end prospect, because we now have a balanced attacker instead of just a one-dimensional shooter. What parts of playmaking do we want to identify? Well, there's plenty, but let's start with seam recognition. Look at this. This is a high-end pass. He has some traffic in front of him, but look at where he identifies the opportunity. The D-men are really spread out here. So you have player 14 crossing the face of the D-man, and that's tough. You talk about neutral zone routes. Crossing the face here can be really challenging, especially if that D-man has his weight going to the outside foot. This is a terrific pass, but it should really be lauded for its seam recognition. Next sequence. If I recall correctly, this was a shorthanded breakaway, and he doesn't score. Now, don't pout. Stay with it. Make a good play. That's what a top prospect would do. We saw in the Iserman video what a literal blind pass looks like. Here's the difference. Watch him check. Now, he processes that a backhand pass would be A, foolish, and B, would be with the momentum of the opposition's skates for a quick transition. So it's with Green Bay, and it's against his own teammates that are joining the rush, so it doesn't make any sense. So like in the Swanson video, don't invite opposition speed onto your teammates. So what does Gridin do? He spins off the pressure to create the seam, then delivers it on the money to player 10. That's big-time hockey sense. That's spatial awareness. That's dynamic mental processing. It's seam creation, and then it's executed with his technical acumen. That's really, really high-end stuff all the way around. Deception in space is a big part of the connection between technical ability and mental ability. It can be subtle. I don't think anybody wants a prospect whose stick handling motion looks like he's chopping vegetables, right? It's subtle maneuvering and timing coming together with the execution. This has the makings of a standard kickout entry, and it's wide open to do so. Kickouts, in this case, it's pretty standard. Maybe it's an intermediate playmaking play at best, depending on the route that the zone entry guy takes afterwards. So we got the little fake, and the blade has some backward diagonal pass action on it, so to speak, and it draws a crowd. The D-man over the top is getting ready to seal up his triangle, and he's going to take Gridin to the net and box him out if he goes there. He's free to do so, this defenseman, he's free to do so because of the back pressure by the forward. That forward is likely to chip Gridin, to use a football term. He's going to chip him, pass him off, and he's very excited to jump on this kick out. The thing about kickouts is that the player that receives it usually isn't moving with much pace. That's why it's essential to make space for them, either by deception or physically setting a pick. So we're all ready for this simple, standard, staple zone entry. Not so fast. Gridin lures in the stick extension of the forward and zips it right through his triangle to a player whose check is not fundamentally anything. So again, this is the next level up in the playmaking process. This is another tier. It's deceptive, it's smart, it's dynamic, it's a pass that crosses the net line. I'm not so sure about the quality of the goal, but I'm not measuring the goal. I'm measuring the playmaking process, and it's really nice. So goal scoring is nice, goal scorers are nice, goals are expensive, goals are the name of the game, goals, goals, goals. The thing that's better than goals is goals plus assists. Gridin had like a 40 plus 40 stat line or something close to that, or like 38 and 45, something around there, whatever it is. The numbers don't matter. You can pick up assists off rebounds of your shots, or pucks hitting someone in the face, or fanny in front, etc. And that's how shoot only or shoot really heavy players get assists. Like Trevor Connolly, who doesn't even have a great shot, had a ton of assists to start the year that were mostly just based off of him attempting to score. Yzerman, didn't really have a lot of assists no matter how you slice it, but how many of them were really seam passes? How many of them were these guys creating seams? And how many of these were these, kind of no look off offerings? Not many. So if he's actually going to go to the QMJHL next year, which for my money has fallen below the USHL in terms of quality. I mean, what's he going to have? 50 and 50? 50, 55, 60 and 60. I mean, he's going to have a big year. So I'm going to transition into some shift by shift video because I don't like showing clips for everything always works out, because that makes a player look like they're superhuman. So we're just going to take some shifts. So there's issues, right? Compete is the number one thing. He's kind of a rink turn guy, as you can see, some pretty long loops in there, not a start and stop player. So he's kind of in and out from that perspective. This is a playoff game, by the way. I think it's an elimination game for Muskegon. And, the skating is good. It's not amazing. It's a little bit obfuscated by his, pace of play. So, but it's there. Some balance issues a little bit. Every 18-year-old needs to have some degree of strength, pretty much. So those are wasted words. Now, I want to just diagram something and make a point, because this video is going a little bit too well. There's no such thing as offensive hockey sense and defensive hockey sense. They're the same. You can't be smart in the living room and dumb in the hall. You can't be good at addition and bad at subtraction. Conceptually, they're the same thing. So players that create offense organically, like Gridin does, have the propensity to stop it. Defense is just the converse of offense. So the best guys, think about how the league is formed. The best guys in junior, they fail down and hold on as third and fourth liners. It's not like third line junior players just, they don't make their way to being third and fourth line NHLers. That's not how it works. It's top line guys that fall down and they adapt their game. Guy Carbonneau was an amazing scorer in junior, and in the NHL, he changed his game up and he did something different. So I'm going to use an example here with Gridin, and we're going to look at conceptually why they're the same and how they apply. Okay, sudden change situation here. Puck is going the other way. Puck is on the boards. A dumb player in this situation where it's kind of even money chases the puck. But as we saw, Gridin has recognition of weak side rotation plays. Because he has that offensive ability, he's aware of how important weak side play is to creating offense the other way. He identifies that this is a weak side play. So here's the mental going, all right, I am a legitimate offense creator. What would I do? And he goes to the spot, and he's right. Now, here's where the technical defense comes in, and it's bad. This is what I mean when I say there are different types of defense. You can't just coach defense as if it's a monolith, right? Gridin has the foundation because he has hockey sense, so there's anticipation, / mental defense. Now, does he have the technical? No, not even close. That's part of what can be coached, though. Does he have the effort defense in him? Think like Ryan Callahan. Does he have effort defense in him? Well, that's part mental makeup and part coaching, so that's on the table too. But here's the thing. Mario Lemieux in the 92 playoffs was excellent defensively, right? Sidney Crosby in the playoffs is generally a Selke level defensive player, even though during most of the regular season he wasn't. Now, you look at late career Crosby, much better defensively. You look at late career Yzerman, much better defensively. You look at late career Jean Beliveau, much better defensively. Think about Joe Thornton on Team Canada. He's not up there playing first line minutes. He's down on the fourth line and he's checking, and he does a good job of it because he knows what that other player, what his opposition is going to do to create offense, and he knows how to stop it. And that's the kind of thing that you want to look for. Players that can create organic offense can also stop it. That's the thing. The difference is the technical and the effort. Anyway, back to Gridin. Balanced attacker, smart player, has to up his compete, has to work on some other things, but this is a really good value pick for Calgary. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe. I'll take suggestions, comments, abound. And otherwise, I'll see you next time on the two-line pass. Thanks so much.
Far side to Sondriel, middle of the ice, near side now, Pekarchik down to the corner. Taken by Barry, regained by St. Louis, and pushed up top for Väisänen. Pass intended for St. Louis.